Hello Eurovision friends, thank you so much for coming to my channel Eurovision Histories. We now know the Norwegian representative for Eurovision 2024. It is Gåte with Ulveham. I hope I pronounced that at least a little bit correctly. They won the Norwegian national final yesterday. Kano almost did it, they won the jury vote, but Gåte won the televote. And in this video I want to do what I always do with new Eurovision entries, rate the song, looking at different elements of the song and performance. And then later on, I will also give you my prediction on how Gåte will do at Eurovision. Will they be able to qualify for Norway? And if they make it to the final, how will they do? And later on in the video, I will also look at your votes in the community tab of my channel. Thank you for that. And also some of your comments. If you want to participate in that, you have to subscribe to this channel. Okay. Let's start with the lyrics of the song. This part is my personal subjective opinion. So let's talk about the lyrics. There was, of course, a bit of controversy because they had to change the lyrics 2 days, I think, before the final of MGP, because they are based on a 1,000-year-old ballad, and songs in Eurovision and MGP are supposed to be new and not based on something that previously existed. I think that's a bit harsh because a 1,000-year-old ballad doesn't really give you any kind of advantage, I don't think. But anyway, they did change the lyrics as far as I can tell. And as far as I've read from Norwegian fans, they did a really good job and they kept kind of the essence of the whole thing. It is a medieval folk ballad about a maiden that has to go through very difficult times. And let's look at the lyrics. I was a beautiful maiden, my stepmother evil, my mother she died. She turned me into a sword and a needle and sent me to the king's estate. And the anger my stepmother felt the most, that all the stately liked me best. So it's an interesting trope that kind of happens in a lot of fairy tales and a lot of medieval stories, that the evil stepmother is kind of treating the maiden badly, very badly. And the maiden has to suffer through that. Very dark lyrical themes, as we can see here as well. Then she gave me skin like a grey wolf. She cursed me to walk the forest alone, and never will I be whole and good before I drink my brother's blood. But I really love that we have a song like this with lyrics that are this dark and this medieval and folksy. I then tore out her heart, she continues, so her blood flowed free. Then I got to drink my brother's blood. I guess it's her stepbrother, because by killing her stepmother and drinking her blood, she manages to drink his blood by extension in a way. Yeah, really dark. I love these lyrics. If you've been to this channel, you know that I love deep, interesting lyrics, and this is something we haven't seen at all at Eurovision, so I'm giving 5 out of 5 points for the lyrics. The dark themes, the maiden, the folk tale character of it all, and the fact that it is based on a 1,000-year-old story from Norway also helps us a lot. And this is important, the fact that this is actually in Norwegian. I think for the first time since 2006, Norway has sent an entry in Norwegian, and I can only applaud them for that. Well done, Norway. Now let's go to the voice. Obviously, this is an incredibly impressive vocal performance. The voice is remarkably unique and has a texture to it that is unique and very distinct and will stand out completely at Eurovision. It has a medieval feel, a folksy feel. There's a rock part to it, and I just love how she manages to sing all of these very difficult notes to sing, and then she adds this pain and suffering to it by having these little breaks in the middle. You almost think that it's not supposed to happen, but she makes it feel like it is supposed to happen, and that makes this vocal performance very impressive to me. This is a bit objectively, because subjectively, especially in the later part of the song, it is a bit much to me. It's a bit too much an attack on the senses. But no doubt that this is an impressive vocal performance. But because this is my subjective rating, I'm giving it 4 out of 5 points. Also, I have to think of all the other songs that will come out, so I can't give this 5 for a vocal performance that to me is a bit too much at times. Now the performance, she is incredibly good again at delivering this pain and suffering that the character feels that we have in the lyrics. There's this one moment at the beginning where you see her face for the first time, and you don't know whether to be scared of her or whether to feel for her. And that is something that is really hard to do. And she does it wonderfully and perfectly. There's an amazing intensity to her performance. The thing that I would criticize a little bit is that the performance becomes very, very frantic at the end, and you don't really see her face anymore. And I think that this song could be even more impactful if you saw her more and her facial expressions and let her interact with the camera and thus with the public and tell the story of the suffering, because especially in Eurovision, people will not understand the lyrics, and you might have to show her face more to do the storytelling for you, because the lyrics are obviously in Norwegian, which I love. But that's not her fault as an artist, and the performance part is about that. And that is why I'm giving 5 out of 5 points, because she is just incredible at the acting. She's really almost an actress in this, I think. Now, for the staging, it has a real visual theme to it. It's incredibly impactful because of it. There's a color scheme that fits the feeling of the song as well, which is great. I love these intercuts of nature images, the power of nature, because it's a folk song at the end of the day, and this really adds to the impactfulness of the visual theme and everything that is going on, and also adds a bit of storytelling to the whole thing. At the risk of repeating myself, I think at the end it's just a little too frantic. There's so much going on with the voice in the song, and then you also have visually all of these lights and strobe effects and things happening that it is a bit overwhelming to me. And as I said, I think a few more close-ups of her would be very much helpful to make this song even more impactful. And that is why I am only giving 3.5 points for the staging, even though I do think that it really fits the song incredibly well. But for me personally, it's just a bit much. Now let's talk about the song itself. I really love the beginning, where you have her voice that is quite high, but then you have the soundscape of the male chanting and of the traditional instruments. I love the traditional instruments in this. And the male chanting, and it gives you a bit of room to breathe between her very intense vocal performance and this male chanting. And then later on, the beat comes in, this very folksy rhythm, which is incredibly intriguing, and I love it. And it stays in your head, even though it's not a catchy song per se. It's a very, very intriguing song, and a song that stays with you after it ends. However, again, at the risk of repeating myself, at the end, there is no more room to breathe. It is just intensity, intensity, intensity attacking you. I would have loved another male chanting part, or a part where she sings a bit softer and lower to give you some room to breathe. And I think it would have made the very high and intense parts even more impactful as well. So at the end, I'm giving 4.5 points to the song. Also because it is so unique, so special, and stands out. And I just love that we have something like this in Eurovision. So thank you, Norway. Takk Norge. So the song counts 3 times, the staging counts twice, and that gives us a total of 4 stars for Norway, which is really good. Now, before I tell you my prediction for Norway, please subscribe to this channel. I do ratings of all the Eurovision songs. I also do lyric interpretations, lots of other things. So do subscribe. I know that only half of you watching this video are actually subscribed. Now, let's go to the prediction. Will Norway qualify? Let's look at the historic qualification rate. In the last 10 years, Norway has qualified 90% of the time, and they have qualified 6 years in a row. And I am rather certain that from the second half of the second semifinal, as you can see, they will have their 7th consecutive qualification. I don't doubt that at all, actually, because it is so distinct, it stands out, and it's just a good song and performance. And then when they make it to the final, I think that this will get 2nd to 10th place. It will get top 10. I don't see it winning at the moment, because I think it might turn a few people off because of the franticness. And the thing that kind of has to be answered about this song is, how will the jury react to it? Because if we look at Gåte, for example, with Shum, which was kind of a similar feel, frantic feel, they really didn't go for that, but the televoters really, really did. So that is kind of the question I have. whether it is lower top 10 or manages to get to the top 5, but quite certain that this will be a very successful year for Norway once again. Well done. Okay, before I let you go, here are your votes from the community tab of my channel. You guys really love this song. 56% of you, that is a new record, I think, gave it 5 stars, 22% 4 stars, 12% 3 stars, 5% 2 stars, and 5% also 1 star. So you guys like this much more than I do, apparently. I do like it. Again, it's just a bit too much for me at the end. And I also have your comments. Again, YouTube seems to have deleted a lot of the comments that you guys did last night. I saved some of them. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry about that. Trying to fix it, but I haven't found a solution yet. Here are your comments. Tennis player yay yay 5732 says, "This is my type of music, heavy, mystical, and original. I was tired of Norway being a manufactured pop machine. They finally sent something different." I have to completely agree. The last couple of years were kind of generic, gimmicky pop, like the Wolves and the Vikings and all of that, and this seems more traditional in a way and more Norwegian, and I think it's also kind of what people expect from Norway, and that is why they will vote for this even more than they did for the gimmicky pop entry. JO5 says, "I am so happy Norwegian is back at the contest after 18 years. Ulveham was amazing and should have made top 10 in 2006. As I have said, completely agree, and I'm glad that I got the year right for Ulveham. This is kind of what I wanted Sweden to do, to send a song in the national language with a very distinct and unique feel, but Norway did it, and I'm really happy about that. Stonebrook83 says, "This is my Eurovision winner. I'll keep an open mind, of course, but this is the one to beat for me. I love everything about this." I hope you find another song you might like as well. Then the Potato Handler. That's an amazing name. I don't know what that means exactly, but it's not a song I'm going to be casually listening to. Completely agree with that, but I would definitely vote for it. The performance was captivating and the vocals were intense and powerful. This is the first song that's given me winner vibes. That kind of means having a German say winner vibes, but yeah. Great that you like it so much. Then we have Eurovision Expat. Hello. "It was definitely the best choice, a whole lot more unique than Dam Digi Da. I'm glad they did the 40-60 split, or else it wouldn't have won. This is my winner of ESC for now." So yeah, Kano would have won because of the jury almost, and because of the televote they didn't. Isn't that kind of history not repeating itself? And I agree with Eurovision Expat that Gåte is much better than Kano. For Norway at Eurovision. Then we have Naru Kupa. "It's something completely different, not just for Norway, but for Eurovision as a whole. I also think it's something that'll appeal to both the jury and televote." I am not 100% sure about that, especially about the juries, because they don't like these traditional songs with folksy elements and folksy instruments. I made a video last year where I kind of proved that these kinds of songs usually don't get a lot of jury support, unfortunately. And this is one that I saved. Taylor James says, "Great to see something in Norwegian. Great overall song, but the auto-tune might be covering the vocals." Ah, that's interesting, yeah. "Therefore, I am partially worried for Eurovision because of its shoutiness in the chorus. Saying this, I do believe all will be fixed by then or made amazing knowing Norway." And then Amber Isabel says, "Absolutely adore this song. I love the way it utilizes Norse mythology and how that is shown in the lyrics. The song is epic in its sound and especially how the instrumental swells in the chorus." I think epic is the right word for this song that I didn't use in my... And then Aka Nichts, I gave it 4 out of 5. I would give it 4.5. Sorry, that's not possible. I only miss a long enough pause for her vocals. Yeah, agreed. So that you can just enjoy the instruments for a moment. The rest is fantastic. That's a good comment, I think, to end this video with. Thank you so much for listening and watching it. And please subscribe to this channel if you want more rating videos like this one. I also do news updates, interpretations of song lyrics. Let me know if you want one for this one. And then I'll see you for my next video, which is coming out very soon, because we also have Spain and Malta to talk about. See you then, and bye-bye.